Today, time surrounds us, clocks tick on our walls, phones tell us the exact second. Calendars organize our lives months in advance. But for most of human history, none of this existed. Early civilizations had only one reliable reference for time. The sky. Every morning the sun rose in the east. Every evening it disappeared in the west. The moon changed shape over a cycle of roughly 29 days. And the stars slowly shifted their positions as the seasons passed. To early societies, these patterns became the foundation of survival. Farmers depended on them. If crops were planted too early, frost could destroy them. If planted too late, the harvest would fail before winter arrived. By watching the stars, ancient observers could predict the changing seasons. They learned that certain constellations appeared just before spring. Others signaled the arrival of winter. This knowledge turned the sky into something extraordinary, humanity's first calendar. And from that moment forward, watching the heavens became one of the most important tasks in ancient society. One of the earliest civilizations to take this task seriously was Babylon. Located in ancient Mesopotamia, between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, Babylon became a center of learning and scholarship more than 3,000 years ago. Babylonian priests were responsible for observing the heavens. They spent countless nights watching the sky from temple rooftops, carefully recording what they saw, every eclipse, every planetary movement, every unusual celestial event. Their observations were written onto clay tablets using cuneiform script. Over generations, these tablets accumulated into massive records of astronomical data. What makes this remarkable is not simply the act of observation. It is the precision of their work. Babylonian astronomers discovered that celestial events repeat in cycles. For example, they realized that lunar eclipses follow predictable patterns. By identifying these cycles, they could forecast when the next eclipse would occur. Imagine the power of this knowledge in the ancient world. When the sky suddenly darkened during an eclipse, many people believed it was a sign of divine anger. But Babylonian astronomers knew it was coming. They could predict the moment the moon would enter the Earth's shadow. In many ways, these scholars were performing one of the earliest forms of science: observation, pattern recognition, prediction. While Babylonian scholars studied planetary cycles, another civilization developed a different relationship with the stars. Ancient Egypt depended entirely on the Nile River. Each year, the river flooded its banks, leaving behind fertile soil that made agriculture possible. But the timing of this flood was crucial. Too early or too late, and crops could fail. Egyptian priests noticed something remarkable. Just before the annual flooding of the Nile, a bright star appeared on the eastern horizon just before sunrise. That star was Sirius. This event, known as the Heliacal Rising of Sirius, became one of the most important astronomical observations in ancient Egypt. It marked the beginning of the Egyptian calendar. Temples were aligned with celestial events. Pyramids were carefully oriented toward specific stars. And the sky became deeply connected to Egyptian religion. For them, the heavens were not only a calendar, they were a map of the afterlife. Across the ocean, another civilization was reaching astonishing levels of astronomical knowledge. The Maya civilization of Central America built cities deeply connected to the sky. Many of their temples functioned as astronomical observatories. One of the most famous structures, known as El Caracal, contains windows aligned with celestial movements. The Maya were particularly fascinated by Venus. To them, Venus was not just a planet. It was a powerful celestial symbol associated with warfare, ritual, and divine cycles. Mayan astronomers tracked the movements of Venus for centuries. They calculated its appearance and disappearance in the sky, and their records were incredibly precise. Modern scientists have compared Mayan calculations to modern astronomical data. The difference between them is surprisingly small. This level of accuracy raises an important question. How did ancient civilizations achieve such precision without modern instruments? The answer lies in something very simple: time, observation, and patience across generations. Ancient China developed one of the longest continuous traditions of astronomical observation in history. Chinese astronomers carefully recorded unusual celestial events, comets, supernova explosions. Planetary alignments? One of their most famous observations occurred in the year 1054. Chinese scholars recorded the sudden appearance of a bright new star. It was visible even during the daytime. Today we know this event was the explosion of a massive star, a supernova. The remnant of that explosion is now known as the Crab Nebula. Without these ancient records, modern astronomers might never have known exactly when that star exploded. This is a remarkable example of how ancient observations still contribute to modern science. Across all these civilizations, Babylon, Egypt, the Maya, China, one realization slowly emerged. The universe follows rules. The sky is not random. Celestial bodies move in patterns. Eclipses follow cycles. Planets travel along predictable paths. This discovery was revolutionary because once patterns exist, they can be predicted. And prediction is the foundation of science. Ancient astronomers were unknowingly building the first scientific models of the universe. Their observations would eventually inspire philosophers and scientists centuries later. Centuries after these early astronomers made their observations, new thinkers began to challenge old ideas. Scholars like Nicolaus Copernicus proposed that the Earth was not the center of the universe. Later, astronomers like Galileo Galilei used telescopes to study celestial bodies in unprecedented detail. Their discoveries revolutionized humanity's understanding of the cosmos. But none of it would have been possible without the observations made thousands of years earlier. The foundation of astronomy was laid by ancient skywatchers. Today, humanity studies the universe using powerful telescopes and spacecraft. We can observe galaxies billions of light years away. We can detect planets orbiting distant stars. And yet, the patterns discovered by ancient astronomers remain unchanged. The same constellations still appear in the night sky. The same planets continue their silent journeys. The same cycles repeat across centuries. The universe still follows the same rules. And those rules were first noticed by people who had nothing more than their eyes and patience. When we look at the night sky today, we are seeing the same stars that ancient civilizations once studied. The same patterns, the same celestial movements, the same silent clock of the cosmos. What began as curiosity became knowledge. What began as mystery became science. And it all started with one simple act, looking up. In this series, Unexplained but Analyzed, we explore mysteries that once seemed impossible to understand. Through history, through science, and through evidence. Because sometimes the greatest mysteries of the past are not unsolved. They are simply waiting to be understood. This is the lost truth, and this is only the beginning.